guys, welcome back to my channel. So this video is going to be on this look right here. Super fun, creative. I had a good time making it. If you're interested in learning any techniques that I use while creating this, then just keep watching. First off, I used the BH Cosmetic Pro Concealer, and I used this to set my eyes. So I'm just patting that out with a damp beauty blender like I always do. And I'm just kind of buffing that across just to get ready to set and prime. Now I'm going in with Scotch tape, and I took my Scotch tape and I cut it up into small, thin sections, and I just placed these randomly on the side of my face. No particular order, just basically until I was happy with how they were aligned on my face, and I just angled them and I made sure to push them in fairly well just to get all the bubbles out from underneath. And now I'm going in with the Saint Center palette from Kat Von D, and from this palette I'm going in with the shade Amen from the palette, and I'm just taking this and I'm placing this directly where I placed the concealer, and I'm also kind of lightly buffing it over where I put the tape, and this is just to kind of prep it for the colors I'm about to put on. I am putting this on both eyes because I want my eyes to complement each other, but I do want their design to be different. So I'm just prepping and priming everything basically before we go in with an actual color. Now I'm going in back with the Scotch tape, and I'm lining up the other side, and this side I'm just going to do one strip of tape. Now I'm going in with Martyr from the palette, and I'm putting this in with a big fluffy brush, the same brush that I just used with Amen, and I'm placing this in the crease, and I'm just buffing this slightly at an angle towards the outer portion of my brow. Basically right towards the tail is the direction I'm buffing this out to, and I'm just going back and forth and blending this color out. I am overlapping the tape. Again, it is extremely important to overlap the tape when you are doing line work like this. Now I'm going in with that beautiful orange shade, which they named Devil from the palette, and I'm just buffing this directly over the outer portion of where I put the Martyr. And here, I'm just swirling and just packing on the pigment, because right now what's important is just getting as much pigment as possible over that tape, because when I lift that tape up, I need that dimension and the contrast between my skin and that color that I'm placing on it. So I'm really just packing that pigment on there. Next, I'm going in with the Modern Renaissance palette, and from this palette, I'm going to start off with the shade Real Garde, which is that really deep orange from the palette, and I'm going to place this in the outer corner, and I'm going to buff it in basically like a V shape, because I'm going to pull it underneath my eye as well and buff that along my lower lash line. And this is just going to start adding depth, because right now we're basically just layering and layering. I'm also repeating the same steps on the other eye, because like I said, I want the colors to complement each other, and I want there to be some symmetry between the two eyes, but again, I really want the design to be different. Now I'm grabbing Venetian Red from the palette, and we're layering that directly over where I put the Real Garde color, and I'm buffing this out in the same spot that I just stuck Real Garde, and this is really going to emphasize and deepen the look. Now I'm going back in with my concealer, and I'm going to do a half cut crease. So I'm placing a good amount of product on both eyelids, and I'm looking up at the ceiling just to map out where I need to put it, and then I am carving out that cut crease. I've placed everything where it needs to go, so I'm just patting out that outer corner just to kind of blend the concealer out. And now I'm going in with Bitchslapcosmetics Quad, and this quad I picked out myself. I picked all 4 colors. They don't have names, but they are definitely on the site as yellow, blue, red, and white. And I'm just using the yellow from that palette, and I'm packing it right over where I put the concealer. And the yellow is actually really beautiful, so I was really happy with pigmentation because I did not have to dig that deep into the palette to get the full color payoff with the yellow. And then after, I'm going to go in with that red shade from the quad, and I'm going to put that on the outer corner where I placed all the other colors basically. And this is really just to kind of turn it more into that sunset type of color. Now I'm going in with that same red shade, and I'm pulling it over my cut crease. So right now, with me buffing it over the top portion of my cut crease, the yellow and the red where they meet will now turn into an orange, which then gives it more of that sunrise finish instead of it being just a harsh yellow to red cut crease. I lightly just tapped on Vermeer from the Modern Renaissance palette just to kind of add a little bit of shine. Then I put some lashes and liner on, and now I get to peel everything off, which is the best part. It's always so exciting to peel off your design to see if it came out right or not, because it doesn't always work. It definitely can go wrong easily, but I was really happy with how it mapped out, and I played around with it. Now I'm just taking a makeup wipe and I'm cleaning up any excess that may have fallen off. And now I'm going to take another piece of tape, so a fresh piece of tape, and I'm going to put it just beneath where I just took the line off, so that way there's a small gap between the tape and where the line is from the look I just did. I'm placing a little bit of concealer just to set it, and now I'm placing that same yellow shade, and I'm packing it right over the top of where I just placed that. So I really packed it on because I layered it over the tape, and then I went back in with the orange and I kind of buffed that along just to give it more of a slightly winged effect. And now I get to take this off, and this will now give me that effect of two separate lines, which will give me a super sharp edge. And I actually really liked the way this looked. Now I'm going in with the Kat Von D holographic palette, and from this palette I'm going to use the shade Opal, which is their pink shade from the palette. And I'm placing this on the high points of my face, but I'm really packing it on the cheekbones and the temple area. I want this to really give a luminosity to the look I just did, which will give a better sunset effect to what I'm doing. Here I'm just making sure that it is full color payoff and you can see the pink tint, because now I'm going to be applying it in my inner corner to kind of balance out the look. And I'm placing this just beneath the lower lash line as well, kind of pulling it under just to give it a brighter finish, and of course underneath that brow bone. Now I'm taking my liquid lipstick from Kat Von D in the shade Exorcism, and I'm taking a craft store paintbrush and I flipped it and I'm using the back side of it to do the larger dots, and then I'm going back in with the tip and making my smaller dots. Try to be as quick and just carefree with this, because the more you focus on how you're tapping, you cannot be afraid to do this, because it is easy to mess up if you overthink what it is that you're doing. So just really quick tapping motions, just dot, 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 and you are good to go. After finishing the dots on my face, I then went in with a Stila liquid lipstick, and I took this lipstick and I applied it in the inner portion of my lips, and then I went and took the liquid lipstick in Exorcism that I just used for the dots, and I placed that on the outer portion and kind of slightly did an ombre lip. So that's it for this look, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.